insurance will look at the problem and say, okay, we can't continue to raise rates. We got to figure out a way of solving these problems. And usually it's going to end up being behavior problems. Something simple as putting a seatbelt on.
If you want expert advice, you want an insurance professional, an independent agent who knows you and is going to help you select the best coverage. Take that same conversation and apply it to books.
Welcome to the Leader's Edge podcast. I'm Zach Ewell, content producer here at Leader's Edge. Last October, Leader's Edge was on site at the Insurance Leadership Forum held in Colorado Springs. During the meeting, held at the Broadmoor Hotel, hundreds of brokers and agents could be seen running to and from meetings. But right in the middle of the hotel lobby, Leader's Edge conducted several high-profile interviews. However, we also held some open mic hours, where anyone with a passion for risk could sit down with us and talk about what was on their mind, whether that be inflation, hurricanes, books, or pickleball. The following features 2 conversations from our open mic hours. Kevin, thank you so much for being here.
I love doing these kind of situations. I love these situations. I like really kind of talking about ways that we can do things a little bit better.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what this is all about.
So you're a podcaster for people that don't know. What's the name of your show?
Okay, it's called Insight, HOA Insights.
Oh, HOA Insights.
Okay, and again, it's like 3 of us together. I take turn. I do it once a month, and we have partners that do it once a month.
Okay.
And basically, it's about this. I'm a specialist, insurance specialist specializing in community associations.
Okay.
So the difference between what I do and most people do is that they are insurance specialists who will give you the best property, the best liability, best comp, whatever. I don't do that. I don't even talk about insurance. Okay? When I talk to clients, I talk to them about what particularly bothers them right now.
Sure.
And that is, if you live in a community association, it's something always going to bother you.
Sure.
So I talk about what bothers you, and then I say, guess what I have? An insurance product of protection.
You have the problem, and here's the solution, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. And for these community associations, where are they located? Is it primarily on the coast, Florida?
Well, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay? We have about 40,000 community associations in the country.
Yeah.
Most of them on the East Coast.
Okay.
So even though I'm in Los Angeles, okay, we have condos, New York City. You go to New York City and you see Park Avenue and Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
They are our bread and butter. And then you go to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Naples, all that. We insure all those. Now, we only specialize in the liability part of it. We don't do any property.
Okay, sure. Because that makes total sense. Yeah, property in those areas definitely is a wrench. Throws a wrench into things. So I guess I'd really like to know then, Kevin, so what was this journey like going from somebody who works in insurance, even though you say, I'm going to solve the problem first, and then I'm going to show you how it's done. But how does somebody go from working in insurance to then being interested in hosting their own podcast?
Well, okay. What happens is this: when you become a specialist, I'm an insurance specialist. I am a community association specialist who happen to sell insurance. Okay. Sure. So now, how do I get my message across? Okay. And so we started with doing webinars. About 15 years ago, about 2011. 2012. We started doing webinars, and we started preaching to the choir, and my choir happened to be an insurance specialist. So I wanted to start talking to board members of community associations, managers of community associations, people who live in community associations.
Sure.
To explain to them that, guess what? You have a problem right now. You live in a community association right now. And right now you're unhappy because there's pickleball courts out there. Everybody loves to play pickleball, but guess what? Pickleball makes a lot of noise. And at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, when you used to be at work, where you're at now? You're home trying to do your work, and pickleball is being played.
Sure.
So the first thing you do is say, wait a minute. I never gave them authority to do that. So now here comes the drama starts. And all of a sudden you end up with a lawsuit.
Sure.
So my job.
A pickleball lawsuit.
You have pickleball because it makes too much noise.
Sure.
And the noise is the.
You're playing pickleball and then you're stuck in a pickle.
That's the kind of problems we have in community associations. And my job is to recognize that and then give them some techniques to say, okay, what you have to do is, first of all, make sure you get the approval to put in pickleball.
Sure.
And once you get the approval, you stand by your approval. So look, we all agreed to it. This is what we're doing from now on. And that's it.
This is an interesting question I'm going to ask you because, again, this is your duality of being a podcast host, but also somebody who works in insurance. What makes a good guest? What makes a good customer? And is there anything essentially that is overlap?
Oh, yes. There's a lot of good questions here because I have to pick somebody who can communicate effectively.
Sure. Which
is nothing more important than
this is the guest. The guest, yes. The guest. Communicating effectively, sure.
And if normally I do it myself.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm the best communicator when it comes to talking about the issues that community associations face.
Sure.
Now, once in a while, I will have somebody come in and talk about maybe how to reserve properly for your roofs and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But before I find somebody, I have to say, okay, I have to hear them and talk to them.
Sure.
And go, okay, they know everything about how to fund reserves, but they cannot communicate it effectively without going into the weeds.
Sure.
And the biggest problem with podcasts are how do you make it informative and interesting at the same time?
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's what I'm always trying to figure that thing out. How do you do that? I can do it because my job is to do one thing, is communicate the issues impacting community associations, and I have a solution for it. So it's easy for me. Now, the second question is that how did I get here, right?
Yeah.
And this is the magic for me. Whenever I have a conversation, I talk to my wife first.
Okay.
If my wife says, I don't have no idea what you're talking about, I'm going to go into the deep.
Okay.
If she says, I get it, but I don't care, then I don't talk about it.
So your wife is your consultant?
She's consultant.
Yeah.
Because what happens, you realize is that if I can't convince my wife that what I say is interesting, then nobody else will find it interesting.
Oh, that's a good point. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I like that. That's fun.
Yeah. Because everybody, look, I know a lot about insurance.
Yeah.
And I can go into the weeds. I can go and say, section 1.2 of the policy says, are you aware of any facts, circumstances that make it rise to a claim?
Sure.
Okay? As opposed to, do you know any claims pending?
Sure.
Now, I just bored you, right? You care less what I just said.
Well, I don't know about me, but I think some people definitely did turn off when they were listening to when you were said Section E.
Exactly. Since I said the word Section E of 1.25 of the policy, people turned off the podcast, right?
Yeah.
I never talk about that.
Sure.
I just say I have a policy here that can solve the problem. Okay? Because when you're sued because that unit owner who lives in Unit E doesn't like the pickleball course, because guess where you live at? You live on the total other side of the complex.
Yeah.
There's no pickleball. You could care less about it. They're talking to you and they want to challenge you. Okay?
In terms of trends within that area of community associations, are there any that you're kind of thinking of that are topical or you just have in the back of your head as we move? We're currently the last quarter of this year, but we're saying goodbye to 2024 and hello to 2025. Is there any topic areas that you are, again, just thinking about going into next year that you think will be major players in the way we talk about risk?
A couple things that's impacting insurance right now.
Yeah.
Okay, is the cost.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Everybody is aware that the insurance is going up. It's so costly. Now, what I do is tell them why it's going up.
Sure.
I talk about inflation.
Yeah.
I talk about getting people to do it, the cost of material.
Yeah.
And try to explain why the costs are going up.
Yeah.
But also kind of tell them that, insurance is of supply and demand. There
Sure.
happens to be more demand right now than
Yeah.
supply. And the reason why, because of disasters happening and things that are occurring. Now, that's kind of a general thing. But what I would do specifically more into, all right, you live in a community association. And I see right now your costs have gone up, okay? In terms of just, people are home now. So your electric, gas, the things that you usually use, there's cost involved in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the reason why insurance is going up.
Yeah.
Just we're living in a post-COVID world in community association. That means I see people more than I saw them before.
Sure.
And guess what we end up doing? We don't get along. We don't. We live in a 50-50 world.
Sure.
Just like in a condo, we live in a 50-50 world.
Yeah.
Where half the group doesn't like what the other half are doing. No matter what I say I want to do, if I want to say I have a pickleball, half people don't want to have it. If I say we're going to collect trash on Tuesday instead of Thursday, we're not going to like half of them are not going to like it.
Sure.
So we spend more time dealing with the things that people don't like than they do like, and it's just challenging time to live in a community association since post-COVID, because before we came home at 5 or 6 o'clock,
yeah,
and now at 5 or 6 o'clock, we're having dinner, but I've been home since 2 or 3.
Sure. In terms of, one thing I find fascinating, and I love that you touched upon, the cost, because that's really on the top of a lot of brokers here and a lot of brokers around, is just, again, how much it costs now, like the overbearing increase of prices to get coverage. Now, and this is very complex, but I just want to know from your angle, in theory, because inflation is going down.
Yes.
Inflation. I'm going to knock on wood that it's going to continue to go on down. But as inflation continues to go on down, do you think that will reflect in policy coverage prices?
What? I tell you, this is the interesting thing about inflation. Inflation goes down, but that just means that the price is not going up as much as it used to go up.
Okay, sure.
So inflation going down. That means instead of paying $1, instead of paying $1.10, $1.15, now you paid $1.05.
Yeah.
Okay. But that dollar is still there. Once you hit that number, it doesn't go in reverse.
Sure.
However, the good news about insurance, it does. Because with insurance, what happens is you get more supply coming in. So once insurance make enough money. So right now, property rates are through the roof, and they still continue to go up. Now, they may not go up as much anymore, but guess what happens now? All of a sudden, there's more supply going to start coming in. Guess what? We think the pricing is pretty good right now, so you're going to have more people coming back into the industry. When people start coming back into it, guess what happens then? Your rate starts going down.
Okay.
So it's not inflation so much. It's a matter of purely supply and demand. Right now, you have a problem with you have more demand and supply. As the rates get to a certain point, you got more supply and demand, and then the rates start going back down. And guess what? We won't be talking about this in 2 years from now. We're talking about other things. About insurance.
I hope so.
Insurance will look at the problem and say, okay, we can't continue to raise rates. We got to figure out a way of solving these problems. And usually it's going to end up being behavior problems. Something simple as putting a seatbelt on. Okay?
Sure.
Is that, well, you have a choice. Don't wear seatbelts, or guess what? You're going to pay a lot for insurance. Okay, well, you get a traffic ticket. You go to traffic school, or guess what? You're going to pay a lot for insurance.
It's an insurance is incentivized
to do better.
Yeah, to do better.
To be smarter about decisions you make.
Absolutely.
And that's what's going to happen and look at all the things in Florida, from the hurricanes and stuff. You have the different type of windows and garage, and all these different things now, because insurance are saying, okay, we will insure you. But guess what you're going to have to do? You have to participate. That means you'll do a better job.
Scott Naugle, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Zach, for having me.
Absolutely. So, Scott, you have such an interesting career. Talk about different careers, I should say. You worked in insurance, and then you also made the pivot to also owning and operating a bookstore. That's correct?
Correct, and they were at parallel times.
They're parallel at times. Okay.
Correct.
Tell me about that parallel times then. Like that must be a lot of responsibility, but also why?
Well, it was. I'm a lifelong insurance person.
Sure.
And still actively in the business. It was my love of books and reading that made me think 25 years ago, well, it would be nice to have a bookstore.
Sure.
I live in a small town past Christian, Mississippi. So startup costs with a simple bookstore weren't that involved necessarily.
Okay.
So I started.
Yeah.
And it was very small.
Yeah.
And it was essentially just me on the weekends.
Wow.
And then it just continued to grow.
Yeah.
To, I'll fast forward to now 3 locations.
Wow.
25 employees.
Wow.
And we added a coffee house component when we rebuilt in Pass Christian after Katrina.
Yeah.
So now our locations include coffee house, pastries, lunch, breakfast. So it's
you're moving in.
Exactly.
Now you're like
exactly.
Now sanitary and eating and everything like that. Wow.
But it enhances. I think there are so many people that enjoy reading.
Yeah.
And there's a love of reading.
Sure.
First of all, reading in of itself is what's important.
Yeah.
Additionally, if you want a physical copy, that's great.
Yeah.
And we work very hard in the bookstore when we're selecting stock so that if you walk in, anybody can see themselves.
Yeah.
So that everyone feels welcome. And among those employees, rule number 1 is be nice. Several of them are baristas,
Sure.
and we bake all our own pastries.
Yeah.
It's another story.
Yeah.
But it's about creating an experience. So to get to the end of I think what you were asking me, it's as much having a welcoming, comfortable place where someone can sit for a few moments, have a freshly brewed cup of coffee, or a latte, not be rushed, be served at your table in a ceramic cup, and look around and be surrounded by books.
Sure.
And if we're lucky, they get up and pull a book off the shelf and say, well, I think I have to have this.
Yeah.
But what I've learned through the years is to always treat your customers not only with respect, but respect their intellect. Select books that create an opportunity for people to reach.
Sure.
If we've always had competition. There's a Barnes & Noble 10 miles away. There's a Books A Million 10 miles away. We don't sell any of that stuff. When you walk in the front door of one of those stores, you see all this. We don't have it.
Yeah.
We take time digging through publishers' lists, finding books, and people will walk in and say, oh my gosh, you didn't know this existed.
Sure.
Or, I'm glad you have it.
Yeah.
In fact, those chain stores often recommend people to us.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's fun.
Yeah.
The other thing about it, the similarity to insurance is it's a people business.
Yeah.
Book selling, being a barista is a contact sport. Selling insurance is a contact sport.
Sure.
Servicing an insurance account is a contact sport.
Yeah.
It's all about people.
Sure. And a lot of reading in both industries.
Exactly.
And also, could you just clarify? So, what's the insurance aspect of it, essentially, of your history?
I grew up in a family agency in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Went to Penn State, studied to be an insurance person and actuary.
Okay.
Took all the actuary courses.
Yeah.
But then just decided that was just too much excitement. Too much, actuary. I don't know if I could live that
too
wild
much
life.
Excitement.
Too much
okay,
excitement.
Sure.
So I went to work with Fred S. James in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Eventually was recruited to Mississippi by a bank who wanted to get into the insurance business and start buying agencies.
Okay.
So I've always been around insurance. I grew up with it.
Yeah.
I love the industry. And it's, as you know, it's a tremendous industry.
And so that led you. That's so fascinating. I had no idea you're not from Louisiana. I thought you were originally from Louisiana.
No.
So
when I was recruited to Mississippi, it was an executive
or Mississippi.
headhunter.
Sorry, Mississippi.
The recruiter said, this is in. Would you be interested in another job? I said, I don't know, but I'll listen. And he said, this is in Mississippi.
Yeah.
I said, no, I want to stay in the United States.
Yeah.
It's a different world.
Sure.
But I'm originally from the Northeast.
Sure. I just thought that was so fascinating. The industry essentially has led you to Mississippi.
Correct.
And now because of that, you're now also like a community member there as somebody who opens bookstores and has cafes. So that's just so fascinating.
Awfully nice. But it's the communities have been tremendously supportive.
Sure.
The people are wonderfully nice. And I've just been very lucky to be part of both industries.
In expanding on your relationship with both industries, you briefly said that you had to rebuild one of your bookstores after Katrina. Is that right? So I guess, given your background too, of risk, and your background of being a local bookstore owner, after when you were rebuilding. What was that like? Because I bet, when it comes to, we always talk about natural disasters, hurricanes, and insurance. That's always a point of contention. How did you look at, rebuilding your store? Did you have, your actuary insurance mind as well as your local bookstore mind?
First of all, we had insurance.
Yeah, that's good.
Past Christian was wiped off the map. Streets, roads, everything gone.
Yeah.
So I believe I'm correct in saying we were the first building up.
Oh, wow.
And at that point, we built our own building.
Yeah.
And it was because we had insurance.
Yeah.
And we did not have to get involved in the flood versus wind issue because we had flood insurance and we had wind and property insurance. So
sure.
The funds were there. The issue became, well, who's going to come? And, as somebody said, build it and they will come.
Yeah, absolutely.
My business partner and my spouse he's very aesthetic.
Yeah.
So working with architects, beautiful building.
Yeah.
Here's where my insurance part came in. Mm-hmm. This darn thing's going to be wind resistant.
Oh, okay, sure.
To get to that, we had to let go of the first architect because he designed a concrete structure that looked like a prison cell. So this is not going to work. And he never did get it.
Yeah.
But the point is, and I'm an evangelist for this, particularly in disaster-prone areas, you have got to build hardened construction. Okay. So our buildings are concrete.
Yeah.
They don't look like it because we've dressed them attractively.
Sure.
Impact-resistant windows, concrete walls, so that they're going to stand up.
Yeah.
So that's what the insurance part brought to me.
Okay.
But on the other hand, of course, they've got to be very pleasing and aesthetic buildings.
Sure. People read books inside jail cells. But obviously that's not for everybody. With COVID and in the pandemic, that totally obliterated and hurt so many small businesses, so many, brick and mortar or concrete and mortar, in your case, businesses, and then now that, we're through the COVID pandemic, it's on the other side now. Now people are returning to in-person, but at the same time, there's still this kind of worrisome that, bookstores and a lot of local businesses may feel it when it comes to more and more consumers going online instead of going in person. What are your thoughts on the future, essentially, of local and bookstores?
I'm
but also
very positive about it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say to you that my answer could also be an insurance answer.
Sure. Oh, please.
If you want to buy your insurance online, go right ahead. Would you also search and for surgery, for cancer treatment online? I mean, it's absurd.
Yeah.
I think.
That's
something
a good point.
as serious as insurance. Yeah. Books are the same thing.
I love that
You
answer.
want to buy it online? Yeah. Go ahead. You want a recommendation and a discussion with a bookseller?
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
Sure.
Do you also want a presence in your community, a small business? I mentioned earlier, I think I did, we employ, I think it's 23, 24 employees.
Uh-huh.
Those people all live in the community.
Yeah.
We've never paid minimum wage. We pay more so they can live.
Sure.
If that's what you want your community to be, you'll come and visit us and have a cup of coffee and buy a book. If you want cheap, go online. I don't know if I can say Amazon or not. I'm not against them, but if that's what you want, go to Amazon. Be consistent.
Yeah.
You're looking for an OBGYN, go online, get the cheapest one.
Yeah.
Buy everything cheap. Good luck. Buy your insurance cheap.
Sure.
Good luck to you. But if you want expert advice, you want an insurance professional, an independent agent who knows you and is going to help you select the best coverage. Take that same conversation and apply it to books. You come in and you tell me, and I'm making this up, you're interested in Roman architecture. I'll say, okay, here's some options. Some are in the store, some I can order. Let's talk. I'm not in a hurry. We'll talk 10 minutes. And the next time you come in, Zach, look at this. I found something you might like.
Sure.
That's how you develop a professional relationship.
Scott Naugle, the only person I know that I could buy a book and insurance policy from and feel good. So thank you so much, Scott.
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks. Thank you for listening to those two conversations of our ILF Open Mic Hours. The first conversation featured Kevin Davis, president of Kevin Davis Insurance Services. Kevin's podcast called HOA Insights can be found on all major podcasting platforms. And the second conversation featured Scott Naugle, whose bookstore can be found in Pass Christian, Mississippi. For more Leader's Edge podcasts, please go to leadersedge.com.